people think that making a game is just coding, but if you're an indie game developer, you're basically an entire company, which means you have to fill a lot of shoes, a lot of roles that usually is being done by someone else. So here are 11 things that you will have to be in order to be a game developer, the roles you have to fill. So number 1 is being a programmer. Yeah, you need to be a programmer. Like, you need to write new mechanics, you need to fix bugs, find bugs, and make sure everything works. Many people just go through CodeMonkey, Brackeys. It just felt like a lot of work to me personally, memorizing all of them to actually be a really good programmer or a coder. It's not something I wanted to spend a lot of time working on. So instead, in my case, I just decided, yeah, I'll just focus on making the game instead of learning how to code, because that's a long process. So in my case, I decided to just use AI. Coding with AI is just so much better now. It's just no-brainer to just use AI when it comes to game development and just coding. As long as you know how each of the codes work, you should be able to work with AI to fix stuff up. If you don't know, it's gonna take a lot more time, but eventually you will get to a point where you understand what each of the codes do. That way you know how to fix it, how to ask AI to help you fix it. Yeah, in my case, the major part that AI plays at this point is just coding. Art is another thing, which brings me to the next role that you have to fill: be an artist. So at first, I thought I can just wing it, with the art by just getting assets and go to AI to get me some procedurally generated assets like background images and stuff. And it did work. It did work for a while, but after a while you will realize that there is no real consistency, and it brings the level of quality down bit by bit, and you'll notice that the consistency is not there anymore, and it doesn't feel like the same game when you go to the next level or next area or the next boss, and you will start noticing it, and it never really fully feels like it's your game. Therefore you have to get good at art. You don't have to get massively good, just enough to get your stuff done. One thing you have to understand ASAP is color theory. Color theory is everything when it comes to game development. So what I would suggest is learn color theory, find a good app. In my case, when I did my research on what app to start learning art, the one thing that came up over and over again was Adobe. Adobe, Sprite for pixel art. There was also Krita. But I figured I don't think pixel art is the best for me. So I decided to find an app that suits me better, and I came up with Procreate. Now, Adobe is a really good app. As much as it is an amazing app, it's expensive. I am a student and I cannot afford to be spending $26 every month on a tool that I may quit at any time. So Procreate is a one-time purchase. It's $15 and it seemed like a good value. Even if I wanted to pick up Procreate a year or two later, I can still do it. Yeah, it's a one-time purchase. It's mine. So I went with Procreate, and I decided if I am actually doing well enough and I'm actually working on it, maybe 6 months down the line and I'm actually making some money, hopefully. Sure. Wait, yeah, I'll get it. The third thing that you'll have to be is an animator. Now, bear with me. This doesn't, like, you don't really have to be an animator. In my case, I don't have a very polished game, so I just use the built-in GameMaker sprites editor for making my animation. It's a lot easier to just use that for me personally than using Adobe or, as I said, Procreate. Procreate, as far as I've seen, I don't think it's the best when it comes to animation, but it's decent, it's fair, you can use it if you really want to. So yeah, next up is to be a sound designer. Sound designing is a whole another thing that you have to go through. There's music, effects, and ambience. You need to make sure music fits the aesthetic of the game. You can't have a game without music. A silent game just feels dead. It's not okay. You have to figure out music somehow. Sound designing is important. In my case, I can't. I suck at producing music. I've tried producing music before. I might get back into it, but as of now, I'm just going with free royalty-free music that you will just get anywhere on Google. Just find something that works. Yeah, it's like you have an average game, you have good music, and you put it together, and the average game is a better game, if that makes sense. So yeah, make sure you get your sound effects, sound designing, music, ambience, all of them sorted out ASAP. The fourth thing that you have to be is a game designer. Now, this is my favorite part, and yet this is the thing that I've not been doing perfectly, because I do not know anything of any other skills besides this. You have to design the game itself. You need to make sure the mechanics works well. You need to balance out each and every mechanic and the artwork and music, and make sure the game is actually fun. Now, I know many ways to make my game fun, but I don't know how to implement it to make it fun. So this time I make a fairly generic game. A game can work perfectly and still be boring. Hopefully I figure out a way to make it more interesting. Maybe by ramping up the difficulty or introducing new mechanics. We'll see. The fifth thing that you have to be is being the tester. Now, this seems fun at first. So basically, you're the tester, you're trying out a game, and you're happy, like, yeah, everything's working, like you implement a new thing and it's working fine, and you're like, yes, it's working, yay. But then at some point you'll encounter bugs and you have to fix them, and when they don't fix, you have to find fixes online, and you find it, you implement the fix, and it still doesn't get fixed, and you have to keep doing it over and over again to a point where you're just tired of the game. You get burnt out and you just be like, okay, you get tired of the game, you walk away, and then you come back and you try again more and more and more, and you fix them. When you fix them, you feel good. So yeah, being a tester is just that. The sixth thing you have to be is a marketer. This is the part that not many people talk about. There are people who talk about it, like Thomas Brush. He's he talks about it a lot, which is he's one of the main reasons that I actually got into YouTube to begin with. Now, marketing, you have to be everywhere. So starting from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, oh sorry, my bad, X. You gotta be on Threads, Reddit. I haven't gotten into everything yet. So far, I'm just trying to somehow manage YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and little bit of Threads. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and if nobody sees your game, it doesn't really exist. If you go to Steam right now, there's gonna be mountains and mountains of games that nobody knows exists, but they do, and some of them are actually fun, but we don't know about them because they weren't marketed properly. They weren't marketed at all. Hopefully mine does. I don't know. I have to try, I guess. We'll see. Next up is an extension to marketing. Next up is being an editor. So you have to be an editor, right? Like I just mentioned, like you make YouTube videos, Instagram and TikTok videos. So being an editor is a no-brainer. You have to. Yeah, this was so new to me. Even though I've done a bit of editing before, I've made like small edits on like InShot and stuff. It's nothing major. But this time around, I actually picked up a really good software. I mean, everyone knows this. It's called DaVinci Resolve. It's professional grade, and it's free. So perfect for me, I guess. Yeah, it's been hell figuring out DaVinci. It's just so much work, and it's just, yeah, man. Like, I really get why people get editors when they grow big. They really need editors. Without editors, no, it's just not possible. I cannot. This is like editing takes up like a chunk of my time, and yeah, being an editor is really important. So yeah, pick up an editing software soon, guys. What else? Next up is being a project manager. So being a project manager is fun, but mentally tiring at the same time. So you gotta manage your progress, you need to manage your time, you need to manage editing, you need to manage being an influencer or marketing, you need to make time to check your progress, game designing, getting stuff done in time, university, and your social relationships. It's just too much. There are times when I think 24 hours a day is not enough for me. It's just not. It's too less. And there are times when I just have to go to class feeling all sleepy. But yeah, I have fun. I really do. But there are times when I do feel burnt out and exhausted and not in the mood to socialize with people, and that gets them upset, and there's a lot of things going on, like a lot. The last thing that you have to be a game developer is to be a constant learner. You're always learning something new. Maybe a new software, maybe a new tool within the software, new skills. It really never stops. It's just gonna be there. Maybe it's a new type of code, maybe a new mechanic that you're implementing. It's not gonna go. It's gonna stay. You gotta be prepared for that. Yeah, so that was all 11 things that you have to be to become a game developer. It isn't just one job. It's all of them at once. And somehow we all choose to do it. When I got into game dev, everyone was asking me, how how are you going to do everything? You have to make a game, you're going to have to make content, you have to network, you have to go to class, you have to make sure you do well in university, and a lot of other commitments that I've taken up. A lot. I have a lot of commitments right now, but I'm just somehow just hustling, just doing it all. Like, somehow. I feel like I'm kind of nearing my breaking point, but I'll keep going. See, as much as this is driving me insane and I'm miserable doing this, it's keeping me occupied, and I love that feeling. Yeah, so let's see. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.